Hi, everybody. This is Ed Duclos and Pete Doviditis,
Hi, everybody.
and we are going to Pete's going to take us through basic insert learning, what he does in the classroom. So,
Sure.
take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. Let me just present my screen. All right, so this would be the new tab. Once you head over to Insert Learning, it'll give you the option to download the Chrome extension, which will then pop up up in the top where all your normal Chrome extensions do. So you can then just bookmark Insert Learning, open it up. The first time you log on, it'll say Add to Chrome. It's free. So do that, and then anytime after that, you should be all set. So log in, and it'll log you in with your normal Google credentials.
So when you had that screen, it was showing Google login or Microsoft, and obviously they're just going to choose the Google. So what I'll do is when we're done with this recording, the link will be right underneath it for new users.
Yep, and so that's to give you the full sort of enterprise version of Insert Learning that normally if you just created a free account, you might see a little pop-up somewhere that tells you that you have to subscribe to do more than 5 lessons, to save more than 5 lessons on Insert Learning. So by using the link that Ed's going to post, it'll sort of remove that, and you'll be able to make as many lessons as you want. So let's just say I wanted to make a folder for a class, right? So I'd go into new folder, and let's say I wanted to make a folder for my humanities class. I'd be able to title it, English. It's a 9th grade class. You don't have to put any tags in here. It'll work just the same. And then click save. So now I have a whole new folder for each class. I want to go in here. And this will store all the lessons that you make, and you can drag and drop different lessons into different folders as you go. But for right now, let's take a look at a lesson I already made. So we'll go into my American Lit folder. I had given them a couple poems to read and then answer questions on. So that would be the Langston Hughes and Adrienne Rich analysis right here. So I'll click into that. So this is based off a Google Doc. I will get into that in a second. There's a way of publishing Google Docs as web pages. The only way Insert Learning will work is if you publish your Google Doc as a web page first. Nobody else will be able to see it unless they have that exact link, so don't worry about a privacy thing. As long as no one has the exact link, no one else will be able to see it. So all I did was basically copy and paste the 2 poems that I wanted to read onto a Google Doc and then publish that. And again, I'll show you how to do that in a second. But Insert Learning is really handy because you can insert sticky notes on any line of a poem like that. And then let's say sample instructions, right? So you can give instructions in a sticky note, sort of like I did here. As you read, let America be America again, blah, 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 blah. Another cool thing you can do is once you put the sticky note in, there's this little camera icon here. You can click on that, and it will pop up with your recording, whatever default recording software you have, which should be straight to your webcam. And you can actually record yourself talking through whatever instructions you have. So let's say you have in English, sometimes we read stuff that has questionable subject matter or words. So you can sort of front load a contextual explanation of that content before anybody starts reading it. So it helps you sort of cover that base. Also, if you go to the left-hand side on this little bar, insert question. It's the same thing as the sticky note, except now, like I did here, you can click on a line, insert a question stem, which is super helpful because it does a lot of work for you. So you can identify the main idea of a text, list 2 supporting details, explain how you know, paraphrase, write 1 question you thought of, and you're also able to adjust the point value in the top right-hand side right here. After that, make sure you hit create or else it won't save your question and no one will be able to see it. So this is just a sample, so I'm going to delete it. Another interesting thing here, insert discussion. So let's say you want to have the kids in the class collaborate on a particular question. Same thing. let's say I found this particular line very inflammatory or one that would spark conversation, I would click it. You can type whatever topic you want them to discuss, and then the kids will be able to collaborate on that particular line. They'll be able to see each other's posts for that particular line. You are also able to highlight. Let's say I wanted to highlight this particular line to maybe it's the most important part. I can click the little plus icon there, enter whatever comment I want, and now it'll be highlighted for the kids and they'll be able to see whatever comment I made. And as far as basics go, don't forget to unselect the highlight text. Otherwise, you'll start highlighting everything you touch. As far as the basics go, that's pretty much it. I'll hop on my Google Drive and show you how to make, or rather publish a Google Doc as a web page so that you can actually get it into Insert Learning.
Would you be able to take us through on a web page and show us how this Insert Learning works as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be great.
So this is not one that I actually use, but just for the sake of demonstration, I'm having them close read this passage, right? So what I would do is I'd go up to my my right hand top corner, and I would click Insert Learning. That's in my Chrome extensions, and it'll take a minute, and then this will pop up. Insert Learning works on published Google Docs, published to the web, that is, because Insert Learning will only work on actual websites. So you hit Publish and Make Lesson, and then it'll pop up on the top, Google Drive. Are you sure you want to publish this selection? Click OK. And then a separate tab will pop up in your Chrome browser, and it'll look just like what I showed you. And you can do all the same things from the left-hand toolbar. Insert your questions, insert your sticky notes, all that good stuff.
It's great. Now, you had mentioned that when I publish my document, all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, hold it. I don't want that on the web. Really, the published aspect is it's just making it web ready kind of aspect to it. Is that correct?
That's correct. So the cool thing about Insert Learning is that since this is now published as a web page, up on the top right-hand side here, it says updated automatically every 5 minutes. So when you change anything on the original Google Doc that you published, every 5 minutes, Insert Learning will automatically update whatever changes you made. So let's say I messed up, this wasn't American Lit, this was another class. I can just backspace. I won't, because this is actually one that they're using right now. But you can backspace, delete, add things, whatever you want to do, and it will actually update the Insert Learning assignment itself that all the kids will see.
So I don't have to take down something, put it back up again, that kind of thing. It's just there. Correct.
You don't have to republish and go through that hassle every single time you want to change something. So it's good for fixing the small things. Let's see. So once you actually publish the website and you click into it with Insert Learning, it'll automatically save into your assignments. So let's see, where would it go? Or it should. It should pop up right here. Let me see. Oh, it's because I haven't done anything to it yet. All right, so let's come back here. Let's just add a test. I've added that. Give it a quick refresh. Awesome. So sometimes there's a little bit of a delay between it. So if you don't see it pop up right away, don't worry. All right, awesome. So you might actually have to make a comment or a question or a highlight on the document before it actually pops up under your lessons on Insert Learning. But now it's here. I can click into it. We'll see it there. Test comment. go back. You can click this little, the 3 dots on the right-hand side, move it to whatever folder you want. You can click Assign. One thing I forgot to mention, if you go up here to Classes, click New Class, create a class. It'll give you this option to import from Google Classroom. So that's how I got all of my classes in here, which makes it really nice because it auto-populates all the students. If you have co-teachers, it'll populate the co-teachers. It'll tell you how many lessons you have. So let me go back.
And assigning it, there was that option just to put it right out through Google Classroom as well.
Yep.
Now, what do the students see on their end? Let's say I'm doing my first assignment. Do they automatically get loaded into Insert Learning? Do they have any problems with that? How do they do that?
So when you go on to it, so let's say this is, we're sticking with this lesson. So I want to hit Assign. You choose whichever class you want to assign it to. And then you can hit, what I do is I hit Share to Google Classroom. Because if I just hit Assign, I honestly don't even know where it goes, but they can't see it. So stick with a Post to Google Classroom. That will give them a link on Classroom. It'll pop up in their stream where they'll click the item that pops up in their stream, and it will then prompt them to sign into Insert Learning using their @apps account. Okay. It's literally one click of a button, and then they're into the actual assignment. They can see all the questions and are able to do their work.
Okay. And that's one thing to note is that we do have a district license for Insert Learning now. So as Pete had mentioned early on, there's no restriction of just having 5 assignments and that's it. We unlimited use, and it's everything through the apps account. Yep.
So let's say I want to grade now. And this is probably one of my favorite parts because it makes everything super easy. So I'm done assigning and everyone's done, hopefully. And now I want to grade it. So you go over to this tab right here, Grades. You can filter by class. So let's say I want to stick with my American Lit. You can filter by the lesson. So I'm going to stick with my original, the 2 poems. And you can filter by question. So these are all the different questions that I typed into the question boxes that I inserted. And if you don't do that, you'll see everything, like every question, every response, which can be a lot. So as you keep going, you can further filter your results. So let's say I wanted to do this question. Now that you've read the poems, answer this question. Boom. So these are all of the responses to this particular question in this particular assignment in this particular class. You can further filter it by the students that are in your class, which we won't do. And then you can just go through. You can see how many points each question was worth. I read it. I say, hey, that's a full credit answer. I type a 3 into this box. And then once you've done all of it, it'll automatically score the assignment. So if I do all questions, this is the class average. And then if I just want this student's scores, so this student got an 81.3.
And now I see below, you can give them a point value. You can also put in specific feedback as well. The specific feedback, is there a comment bank for that, or are these things that you have to type in?
There's no comment bank. So everything you type here are things that you have to input manually.
Okay.
Which I believe is a little bit different from Classroom. Classroom might have a slight advantage in that department since you can save comments. I have a separate document where I put my comments, like a whole separate Google Doc of frequently used comments. So that might be something you want to do, and then you can just copy and paste right into here. So let's say you find a web page that's really good. You don't create a Google Doc. You're just surfing the web, and for example, let's do, I don't know, election 2020, and we'll find a good website. Okay, so I want this USA Today I want to make some questions on this article. So I'll click on the article, wait for it to load. Awesome. So I'll go back up to my Insert Learning Chrome add-on, click it, it'll load. And now I can put sticky notes on anything I want. Say I want to do a sticky note to sort of make a preface for what they're about to read. I can do that. Again, it'll let me do the video inside the sticky note. The thing to remember, though, is that this works off of paragraphs. So you'll see I don't have the ability to do individual lines this time.
Is that true with the highlighting tool as well?
So every web page I feel like is sometimes a little bit different, but let's do this. Nope.
No, you can't. That's great.
I can highlight this. I can highlight this. Notice how I didn't unselect the highlight text. So now everything I highlight gets highlighted. If I want to stop doing that, I unselect it. And now nothing will happen. So now let's say I wanted to put a sticky note. We'll make this a sample assignment. Sticky note. Boom. Sample note. All right. So now that I've done something to the document, it should pop up in my Insert Learning Assignments list. So I'll go back to that tab. Go back to Lessons. And now here it is. It's automatically added this web page with my sticky note. Let it load. So now kids can read the article with my annotations, with my highlights already on there.
It's fantastic.
And as far as basics go, I think that's about all I got.
I think that's wonderful. It's I'm looking at all the different possibilities. Even though you teach English, there's possibilities straight across the board for so many departments. And as I'm looking at the web page right there and saying, hey, some of my students are going to get lost on that, there is a way to go ahead and just take the text out of a web page using another tool. So if you as a teacher would like to explore that, please let me know. But Pete, this is fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time. Any last words for teachers using this for the first time or using it?
Yeah, so just play around with it. I learned most of these things by talking with Ed, talking with Mike Webb, and we just sat down for an hour after school one day and just said, what can we do? And experiment. And the kids give pretty direct feedback. This doesn't work. I don't like this. So read your room and see what they do and don't like in terms of like the formatting and how you go about highlighting and making questions, because they have opinions, and if you get a class like mine, they're not afraid to tell you.
Pete, once again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hey, and I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out right here to Mark D'Amato. Mark D'Amato is one of the early adopters on this tool, and he kept fighting and pushing to get a district license. I think it's been about 2 years now. So he outstanding for his persistence, and we're all going to reap the benefits of that. So again, Pete, thanks so much. Everybody have yourselves a great day.
Take care, everybody.